What's up, Mavletic lovers and listeners, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Maverick Postgame. We hope some of you got to see some of our athletics this past week. If not, don't worry, because today we've got another full show for you as men's basketball advance in an overtime thriller.
And women's basketball is set to host the RMAC semifinals.
Also, track and field outrun the competition at the Indoor RMAC Championships.
And baseball sweeps another weekend at home.
All of that and so much more as we move ahead into this recap-packed episode of Maverick Postgame. So with that being said, I'm your host, Jordan Browning.
And I'm Branson Kaiser.
Let's dive into all the game-breaking stats, off-the-wall wins, heartbreaking losses, and in-depth analysis of our CMU athletics. Roll it. Welcome back, everyone. Once again, I'm Jordan Browning.
And I'm Branson Kaiser.
Let's jump right in and take a look at all the Mavtastic action that took place over the past week here at CMU. Wrapping up their regular season tied for second place, the Mavericks men's basketball team came home split for the opening round of the RMAC Championships. The Mavs put up an impressive 110-93 victory over South Dakota Mines last Thursday, giving junior guard Ben Henderson his career-high point night of 31. Then on Saturday, Mesa traveled to number 14 Black Hills State, where they unfortunately fell 74-65. Ending the season 15-5 on the RMAC, Mesa tied with CSU Pueblo for the number 2 spot. That's when the team set up at home, hosting the 7th in the RMAC, the New Mexico Highlands Cowboys, for the quarterfinal round of the championships. This make-it-or-break-it game saw the return of 24-25 starter sophomore guard Mason Honeyman, who has been off the court since a late 2025 injury. As for the history, the Mavericks saw the Cowboys 2 times this year, defeating them in a successful fashion both regular season games. The Cowboys had also not seen the playoff court in 4 years, and with a new head coach, the team was hungry for the victory. Starting the game on a 9-0 run, the Mavs were quickly ready to remind the number 7 team what a playoff game looks like in Grand Junction. After the first 20 minutes of postseason play, the home team stood on top 36-32, leading most of the first half. But a potential locker room motivation had the Cowboys coming out of the break ready to fight for their trip to the crown. After the break, both teams traded leads, not going more than 5 ahead in the whole half. All players put everything they had on the court, leading to 20 fouls in just the second half. At 1 minute and 30 seconds in the match, the Cowboys looked like they could run away with it, leading the Mavericks 72-67. But Cohen J. Gonzalez and Ty Allred would not let that happen, as Cohen J. sunk a huge 3 to break 70, and Allred converted 2 points off a foul. It was then at 24 seconds the Mavericks were down by 3 with the ball coming into their court. Allred stepped back for the 3 and sent it through the net to tie the game in the final seconds, sending the teams to a last-second overtime. Finally, in overtime, the two teams hashed it out for a final 5 minutes where the Mavericks led up to the 40-second mark when a Cowboys player slammed the ball into the back of the net, putting them ahead by 1. But Ty Allred was not set on ending his college basketball career here, as he secured 1 more in the paint, now putting the Mavericks ahead by 1. With 20 seconds remaining in the overtime thriller, Allred fouled, sending the Cowboys to the line, where they choked, securing the win for the Mesa Mavericks 91-90. As a team, the Mavericks actually trailed in total field goal percentage, and by a lot. Luckily, they made up for it with better threes and better skill at the line. Along with the outstanding survival efforts for the Mavs, senior Ty Allred put up an impressive 35 points in the postseason game. Also, Mason Honeyman, in his first game back of the year, managed to log 24 game minutes and 17 points. Now, with CSU Pueblo winning their playoff game against Mines last night as well, the Mavericks will head to Spearfish, South Dakota to face the number 3 seed in the semifinals on Friday. As always, good luck to our Mavs.
Securing their 20-0 undefeated season, the Maverick women's basketball team came home for the RMAC championship, as well as last night breaking a school record on the road last weekend for most consecutive wins. The Mavs now sit at 28 straight wins after defeating 8th in the RMAC. The Colorado School of Mine or Diggers in their quarterfinal game. Ranked 4th in the country, Colorado Mesa showed out for their postseason game of the year. Within the first 6 minutes of the game, the Mavs managed to go on an 18-0 run to open the match. The Ore Diggers couldn't manage a score until 4 minutes remaining in the quarter. And even then, the Mavericks finished in the first 10 minutes ahead, a whopping 33-4. Going into the second, the Ore Diggers finally managed to break double digits, not before giving up multiple fouls to the Mavericks. At halftime, the nationally ranked Mesa team was halfway to the century mark, 50-19. From this point forward, it was a blowout from the Mesa side, leading the Mines team with 48 points at one point in the game. From standout performances from Mesa's own superstar Olivia Reed-Thine and a younger talent like Haley Clark and Mason Rowland, the Mavericks were able to stay ahead the entire match and not only advance but host the semifinals in Grand Junction on Friday. With both the teams fighting hard for the win, Mesa came out on top 96-51. This 45-point win is the first in an RMAC tournament since the year 2000. As a team, the Mavericks, as you could assume, lead in every fashion. The team was over 50% in both total field goals and free throws, and just under 50 for threes. The team also had an impressive 42 rebounds and 9 steals. Your Mesa team will now host the remainder of the RMAC tournament here in Grand Junction on Friday, when they take on number 5 in the RMAC, Black Hills State, once again. Good luck to our Mavs.
Both the men's and women's track and field teams headed east to Gunnison, Colorado this weekend for the RMAC Indoor Championships. This 2-day-long event featured 13 teams across the region, all competing at the highest D2 level. Starting with the men's sprinters, Teo Casados and Joseph Randolph took the top podium with their fastest CMU times to date. Casados, running in the 60-meter sprint event, broke his previous Mesa record with a time of 6.69 seconds. Casados was not the only Maverick to succeed in this event, however, as 4 of the top 6 spots of the 60-meter were filled by Maverick runners. Junior Merrick Cummings stood next to Casados with his second-place finish of 6.8 seconds. For Randolph, the junior put up an impressive 21.45-second 200-meter finish time, breaking the Mountaineer Fieldhouse record. He took the podium for this event as well as the 60-meter, where he came in 4th. As a team, the Maverick men finished 3rd out of 13 teams, tying their second-to-best program finish. For the women, the team had 3 podium finishes in the competition. Breaking her best career time, sophomore Cami Merritt took home the silver in the 400-meter event at a time of 55.69 seconds. Redshirt senior Megan Hodges ran for 10 minutes and 23.2 seconds in bronze to finish in the 3,000-meter event, both times qualifying these Mavs for the NCAA. Hannah Schistler also took the podium after her 3rd-place finish in the 200-meter event. In total, the women tied for 6th place in the tournament and have a chance to send some runners to the national championships in a few weeks.
Sweeping the last 2 weeks of RMAC Pitcher Awards and their most recent home games, the number 9 Mesa baseball team continues their strong season start this past weekend here in Grand Junction. Jackson Eisenhower and Justin Schwarm both earned the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Pitcher of the Week awards within the last 2. Both pitchers, not even hitting the halfway marks in their careers, are itching their names in Mesa history already. As for this past weekend, the number 9 Maverick men hosted the number 13th Augustana Vikings for 4 straight games. Augustana, similar to CMU, came into the weekend undefeated, but it only took Mesa 1 game to snap that Viking record. On day 1, RMAC Pitcher of the Week, Justin Schwarm and Liam Hunstein combined for 13 total strikeouts to give the Mavericks their first win of the series 7-1. Then, on day 2, the Mavericks used their lead to blow past the Vikings in game 2, where they scored 18 runs on 18 hits. With the successful first 2 games, it was likely that the Mavs would wrap up their series with 2 more wins, but Augustana fought back, taking the lead for much of the next 2 games. In Game 3, they would hold Mesa at 5-1, and Game 4 at a mighty 8-0, but not so set on giving up their undefeated season yet. The Mavericks came back in both games to sweep the series, hitting 7 home runs in their series. Ezra Farmer and Colby Felix scored 2 each, while talented hitter Keegan Landis combined for a 63 hitting percentage over the weekend. The Mavs will now open RMAC play at home when they host the New Mexico Highlands Cowboys on Friday.
Now that we have recapped some of the action, it's time to announce our Maverick of the Week. Our Maverick of the Week goes to Ty Allred of the men's basketball team. Allred receives major props for his performance in the opening RMAC championship game. Not only did he score a career-high 35 points, but also scored the overtime winner to send the Mavericks to the RMAC semifinals. If it wasn't for his game-tying three at the end of regulation and final layup in overtime, the Mavericks would be upset by the number 7 team and Ty Allred's college basketball season would be over. But with his amazing effort and motivation, the team gets to continue on and try for that crown. Congratulations, Ty, for your outstanding performance. You are our Maverick of the Week. Now it's time for some closing statements. My closing thoughts are on the Mesa swim and dive team. Last week, we recapped the historic RMAC Swim and Dive Championships and the title-sweeping Colorado Mesa team. Now, the Mavericks will send 43 athletes to the NCAA Division II Championships in Evansville, Indiana. This is the most athletes from a single school in the entire country. The Mavs also send a national leading 13 divers to the qualifying diving meet held before the championships. Even though the teams only sit third for the women's and fourth for the men's in the country, the amount of talent combined for both teams is more than any other team in the country. The historic competition will be held from March 10th to the 14th. Good luck to our Mavs.
My closing thoughts are on the Mesa men's wrestling team. Also sending key players to the NCAA 2 championships, the men's wrestling team competed at the Super Region 5 championships in Golden last Saturday. Taking their second in their weight classes, Owen Klein and Tyler Doyle are sent to the championships for 157 pounds and 285 pounds. Alex Catastrada at 149 pounds also is heading to the championships as he won 4 straight matches and ended third for his weight class. Both the men's and women's wrestling teams are headed to the NCAA D2 championships this month. We wish them good luck to all of our athletes.
Now that we have recapped all the action from the past week and given our closing thoughts, it is time to close the show. Thank you everyone for joining us this week on Maverick Postgame. I've been your host, Jordan Browning.
And I've been Branson Kaiser.
Be sure to check out our YouTube, Colorado Mesa TV, for more games and updates. We'll see you next time for an all-new recap-packed episode of Maverick Postgame. Stay safe, Mavs, study hard, go to a game or two, and of course, have yourselves a Mesa amazing day.